Hello, this is Right Side Trader. Today is April 17, 2026, and this is my weekly market review. We're reviewing the Dow 30, that's DIA, on a quarterly chart, monthly chart, weekly chart, and a daily chart. This is all for educational purposes only, no trade recommendation, because as we all know, trading is risky. You can lose money at trading, so please check with your financial advisor. Please check with your significant other, and make sure trading is something that is suitable for you. All right, let's just resize these charts and see what we see on the Dow. The Dow on the quarterly chart has not made all-time highs. It has a bullish piercing pattern there at the top. Not the best location, but it is what it is, and it needs to play catch-up. So will it be playing catch-up next week? It still looks still a very large green candle, and just with 2 weeks into the quarter, so it does still look very strong here at this time. Let's go ahead and go down to our monthly chart and see what we see here. Again, on this monthly chart, we can see that we are above the 9-10 moving average. That's this blue line here. We closed just below, a resistance 2 level and below 500, with it being option expiration week. That's kind of expected. But come next week, we can see this thing go ahead and bust it and make all time highs. But let's go ahead and go down to our weekly chart and see what we see there. On our weekly chart, zoom in here. Again, it's just like all the other indexes. We had some real strong weeks these last 3 weeks. We came down to the 50, just below the 50, retest that 50, and these last 3 weeks have been strong. The Dow is the only one that had a hard time breaking its high, though, in all this little sell-off area right here. So I'm kind of surprised, but like I say, it's the baby out here, and it can be controlled more so than any of the other ones, and that's what we see right here. So again, if they're talking about, oh, the market is still not in the green yet, the Nasdaq, the SPY, the Russell, all have made all-time highs. It's just this one that everybody try to talk about, this little baby thing, is not there yet, and that's all you're looking at. And I'm not pretty sure anything can happen, but I kind of expect it to make all-time highs come next week. All right, that's what we see there. All right, let's go down to our daily noise and go ahead and wrap this on up. Change my arrow. Boom. On this daily picture, again, the big thing about this whole daily picture, what was option expiration? Number one, this red line right here, this line right here, that represents option expiration. And again, if they had anything sold trying to keep the Dow below 500, that'd have been the whole thing come with option type stuff, because they usually sell above the markets, sell below the market. So this thing ended up closing somewhere between 490 and 500. That's kind of ideal, what I would kind of expect, and that's what we ended up getting here this week. Well, getting here this Friday, But now what I expect come next week, let's kind of take a quick closer look at this. First of all, I kind of expect us, this is white line is pivot. We get above pivot. I say stay above pivot. So I expect us to open above pivot and stay above pivot. I expect us, again, since our resistance 1 level is up here above 500, like I say, I expect this market to get above 500 come next week also. And our resistance 1 is at, as you can see, at times during the week, it has a hard time getting above a resistance 1 level. But I expect this thing to get to that exit resistance 1 level, which is 502. No trade recommendation, just what I see here on the chart. Now, is that good enough to make all-time highs? Let's back up just a little bit where we can see the rest of the chart and see if that's good enough to make all-time highs. That is not quite good enough to make all-time highs. We got to get above 505.30 in order to make all-time highs. So again, we still may struggle at that high, or it might show us just like the other indexes showed us this week, that it's just going to churn through that like butter, and we're going to be we're going to be at all-time highs come next week, and that's what I see. We just got to kind of wait and see what happens there. But that's all I have for you guys today. This is Right Side Trader. Hope you guys had a great week. Hope you guys have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you next week. Have a good one. Subscribe. Give me that thumbs up if you like what you're getting, and I'll see what I'm trying. And again, quick thing, if you made it to the end. Pattern day trading has changed. It's going to change here in the next 45 days from what it sounds like. SEC approved of allowing out an account with $2,000 in it to be able to trade to day trade and all. And what it means that your money that you use in a trade, day trading, it clears instantly. Meaning I can't use no more than what I start the day with, that $2,000, but I can use that $2,000 all day to make money or lose money, and that's going to be a nice little thing for me. I like day trading and all. I'm used to day trading in my other with cash accounts. Normally, I haven't traded in I trade futures in a margin account, but I haven't really day traded and really, scalp crazy in a margin account in some time. So that's going to be a new thing for me to start doing that again, because again, it's very risky, and for me, the way I do it is very fast. So and putting a lot of money at risk usually. Starting with $2,000 won't be nothing, but I'll see if I can actually double that is what I'm gonna try to do real quick, and see how high can I run it up to, So if you made it this far, look out for that. That's going to be coming here probably in the next couple of months or so, once they really get it out there on one of the platforms. I got I have two brokers that I'm thinking about doing it with. Well, one or two brokers, if not both of the brokers, that I'll open up a little margin. Well, I'll fund the margin account that I already have out there and see how it goes. But that's it. That's all I really want to share at this time. This is the Right Side Trader. Hope you guys have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you next week. Have a good one. Bye.